Hey everybody, welcome back to the stream. Hopefully today's goal is to finish this song that we started and we've worked over the last couple streams. Oh, sorry. Uh, had the video on in the background, live stream. So what I was saying is hopefully today we'll finish this song that we started a while back. So let's get into this. Thanks everybody. Actually, hold on. All right, there we go. That's much better. Just wanted to say thanks for everybody that's been tuning in to the streams on YouTube. As you can see up here at the top, I have all my links to all my social networks. It's pretty simple. Everything's under my name, Todd K. Edwards. So really appreciate it. Everybody watching those. If you don't catch the live stream here on Twitch, I will upload them to YouTube on my YouTube channel, so you can watch them later. I know a lot of people prefer to do that. I'm actually one of those. I have a few people I follow on Twitch. If I don't catch their live stream live, I'll watch it on YouTube. So I know a lot of people appreciate that. So I've been doing that, and the responses seem pretty positive so far. I've picked up a lot of subscribers. I'm guessing that's from the live stream content that I'm putting. Anyway, let's get into this and enjoy. And one last thing, you know, I'm always looking for feedback or anything how to improve the stream, or if there's anything you want to see me do, just leave it in the comment section on YouTube or on Twitch or whatever, or send me a direct message on Twitter. It's Twitter/Todd K. Edwards. All right, enough of the promoting and all that stuff. Let's get into this. All right, guys, let's take another listen. Just remind ourselves what we're dealing with here. I had a few ideas. I know I said on the last stream that I wanted to do. I want to change this intro here. Oops, sorry guys. Text message there. Yeah, I wanted to redo the intro here. Kind of build into this piece, and then we're only went through the melody a couple times here, and I want to do a variation, and then we're going to switch it up probably around right in here. We'll probably do a modulation or something. So all right, let's take a listen to it. So that's all we got so far. As you can see or hear, as you heard, I was trying to do a string line, that part, because we were doing horns for the first two parts of the melody. I think we added a trumpet. Yeah, we added a trumpet here on top of those 12 horns. So I figured to bring up different color, let's switch it up to strings. So that's what I did. But what I would like to do is I'll change up the melody a little bit. We've already heard it twice, so now we can change it up a little bit, give it a little bit of variety, so so everybody's not bummed out on that same melody. So that was my goal here. So let's listen to this melody. So, okay. Let's see what we can do. I don't know. Let me. How far we're. Might be too high if we put it in octaves. It could work. Be too much though. Let's see. See how that sounds. But then we're gonna change the melody up a little bit. So. Alright, so I don't think I can do that with this patch. So what I'm gonna do, copy those notes, and we're gonna pull up the normal string patch here. I guess I could do it in violins. Alright, let's pull up the violin. Alright, so what we'll do is our articulations patch here. And we'll copy it for violins 1, and then we'll get violins 2. We can do violins 1 doing a high section, and then violins 2 doing the low section. So let's just see how this sounds. So I don't know if this is gonna work. Might have to change some of these notes. A little high. Alright, and then let's do violin 2. And I could probably go in and make some of those adjustments with the notes. I can do like you know, since it's the articulations patch, we can get really technical with it. I tend not to be like that, but me. That those notes out of here. We got violins 1, violins 2. Oh, like we deleted a note. That C on X, didn't we? Make sure we didn't do that in the violins. I don't think we did here. We did. Alright, so let's hear what it sounds like now with those in there. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That's way too high. I guess what we could do is we could drop this part here, and maybe viola's doing. Doing it in lower octave, I guess. Yeah, that's what we could do. All right. So we could do the violins 2 part. Violas, I guess. Give this a try, but drop it down octave. Because those violin, that was just way too high. There we go. Try that. And these violins too. We could just have these double, I guess. Violin 1. Bring these down. Way too high. They're doing the same thing. Give it a little bit more power, I guess. Alright, let's give this a try. So I don't know if that's going to work. See, this patch I was using, it was this high octaves. Just it works. So I don't know, that might not work, or I'm gonna have to like really go in and fine tune it here. Let's see. So I'm gonna have to do some marcatos in some of those notes. See what that does. Yeah, we're gonna have to really program this. Okay, so starting here, actually starting there. We have to switch in. And then this, the sustained is C0. Okay. Goes here. There. Let's listen to this and see how it sounds. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I might have just to stick with that other patch. Do it there. '31, bar 31. Back to sustain. So this is where it gets really. I mean, I know I could do articulation maps within Cubase. Like I said, I'm still learning Cubase, and so I'm sure there's an easier way to do all this. I just don't know about it, and that's part of the whole journey here. That's why that's like one of my goals with this live stream, and that's why I'm uploading them to YouTube. It's just like this is my journey becoming a composer in this style. I played guitar, and if you go on my YouTube channel, you can see all the ambient guitar videos I do alongside of this stuff. But this is a new journey for me. So it's kind of like you guys are on my along the journey as well, to watch me develop and grow and to answer questions. And if I find things that I discover, I will share with you guys. So that's kind of the whole essence of this and why I'm doing this and why I'm streaming. So let's give this a try. some of those notes we might be able to come back into the sustain, like those E and G. Try that. Yeah, we might have to do that. So we'll come back to the C. Actually, no, right here. F. And back here. We can get rid of that key switch, I think. Yeah, get rid of that one. Okay, yep, that's good. Good. See what these sound like. So I'm thinking those aren't marcato notes. Just that first part. So we could stay sustained, I think, from here. See how this sounds. Whoop. I thought this. Oh, we didn't hit the key switch. Sorry. There we go. I don't know though, that might not cut through. That was sounding okay, I guess. Let me take that patch out though. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work. Just doesn't sound right. We could just leave it in there for layering purposes. Go in and fine tune the rest of those anyway, so let's so that would be this is where you spend a lot of your time doing this stuff. Not fun. Okay, let's just leave it for now. Fine tune it later. Let's see. So I think see where this piece is going. That's the problem. So what I did, if you noticed, the chords were being done by strings and this first part, and then here I'm switching it to horns are doing the chords along with the strings, I believe. Yeah, we're still doing chords. But I could take them out. Let's just see what it sounds like without the string. Doing chords. See, so it brings that melody out a little bit. Got to bring this up an octave. Let's see. I mean, we can do that, right? That works better. Since we're going to be going into C here. Okay. Let's come up with this variation on the melody. We really need to do. Put note where we're on there. Go into the D minor, so we're still in C. Let's see what this sounds like. This probably won't work. But let's try. don't think that's gonna work. That could work. That ladybug. Sorry, that's my daughter. Okay, so all right. Cubase, 8, low brass. I think that's what those were a little bit off. There we go. Now, since we have some space here, middle, kind of, might be able to do some staccato notes or something. More movement. So we might be able to do some pattern. I don't know. Let's just play around. What did I play? Hold on. That might not work. Try this. Something like that. We could do dun 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 dun. Try that. Hold on. Pick me up. Hold on. This Soundflower bed. I don't know if you guys can hear it on your end, but oh, that's why. There we go. something like that. I don't know. It might not work, but let's try it. Sometimes I like just to get it in there so I can mess with it MIDI wise. I'm learning to do that more. That's something that I'm a firm believer is like play it in, you know. That's my guitar playing, you know, because I'm so used to playing an instrument. I guess that's my musician side of me that I have to play it in or it's not legit. I'm learning to get rid of that because it's all about time. And if I sit here and try to play it for 40 minutes, you know, you just wasted 40 minutes of composing time. So let's see here. Dun dun dun. Yeah, that's what it was. Bum bum bum. Let's work on this real quick. Bum bum bum. Bum. And another thing I want to learn how to use is the step editor in this, but I'm not very good with rhythm, as you could probably tell. I mean, I am by doing, but I don't know notes very well. I'm learning. Let's try this here. Whoa. The hell? Dun, dun. Alright, I think I got the pattern here. Oh, it goes dun dun dun. I'm gonna do that. Whoops, didn't want to do. I just like to clean up my notes a little bit. There we go. So dun 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 dun. Right. I'll come back on the A, right? Yeah. Take this A. Try that. Yep, that's it. We'll come back to the part we just played. All right, that's not right. So we need to bring that into here. Two bar. Let's see, it's 1, 2, 2. It's starting to come, like some of these times I can get these patterns right because I look at the bar line. Once I know the rhythm in my head, I can match it up and I start seeing it. But sometimes it doesn't work as beautifully as that. Perfect. That's what I wanted. So, but we got to change this a little bit. Rhythm. That's another thing I'm learning about when I'm composing. It's all about rhythm. You know, rhythm is key to a lot of stuff, and especially with melody writing. Try to use a lot of rhythm in there. It helps out so much. And chord tones, following the chord tones and the chord progression. Make sure you're hitting those chord tones along with varying the chord tones as well. That's the best key or advice I can ever get you for melody writing. Melody writing is an art in itself, but once you start figuring out how melodies are written, and if you follow chord tones within a chord that you're playing, it becomes so much easier. And that's a start, the springboard. You know, do that for a while until you perfect it, and then start adding more tones in there. But that's just been huge for me, and I've seen so much progression in my melodies and stuff. So now I just need to work on movement within chords. Melody for me, melodies usually come easy for me. I don't know what it is. I think it's because I play guitar or something. Um, but it's the chords. Like I'm so used to static chords, block chords, you know, as they call it. So it's trying to move those around and arpeggiate or get movement so it's not just static. Because if you listen to a lot of classical film music or whatever, the violins aren't just playing one note. I mean, they are, but like, strings are moving, but they have to move in a certain way so it doesn't, conflict with your melody line, but it can weave in and out, but maybe it can complement the melody line too. So that's another thing I'm learning to do. It's kind of like if you come from like the band background, guitar, bass, and drums, if that's rock and roll stuff, think of it as like the bass guitar. How the bass guitar is always moving. It should be always moving. It's just not just staying on one note, depending on the context of the song that you're writing or the genre you're writing. But mostly a bass guitar player, if you look at blues, they're doing walking, jazz or blues, they're doing walking bass lines. Think of that, with your string movement. And that's how I kind of put it to make sense to me, because since I come from a rock metal context, that's my background. I mean, that's what I know or I'm familiar with. So I'm kind of thinking it's like that. Well, it's kind of like a bass player moving around the notes. So if that helps you, I don't know. That's just how I kind of think of it. Perfect. That's what I wanted. Perfect. Now, let's see if it even works in context, because it works here, but let's see if it even works with kind of. I don't know if that's gonna work. Because we got a different rhythm in the dun, 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 dun. That. Let's try it. Might need to bring it up. Actually, I think it might work. So let's fill out the rest of the chords. So that's A minor, so we just move it up to C. Now we gotta change a few notes. So this is what it makes it easy. When you find a good pattern, stick with it. Patterns are everything. People recognize patterns and they like patterns, so don't switch up the pattern. Maybe do variation in the pattern, but don't switch it up. Like, you're doing one pattern, then you switch it up again. That just doesn't work. So that's an A. And also what you can do, I'll show you here. We might have to do it here. So we're doing. Also, we're not playing the third, that first part, so we're not committed to major or minor. So we're playing the root and the fifth. And then we're doubling the root on the top. So let me see if that even works. Yeah, it's that D. That change. So. That needs to be a D. I'm trying to figure it out, actually playing it in C, because it's minor, so. That actually might work. See how that works. Yeah, it needs to be A. B. No. I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't think this pattern is gonna work. Sounds cool. Let me try some. I don't want to change up the rhythm in the drums though. Well, what I could do, accent it maybe. Let's see, what do we got going on here? Do another. Actually, I think it might work. I like that rhythm though. You guys are probably sitting there going, just do this, just do that. It's easier when you're watching somebody compose, you know, because you're just seeing it from that. But when you're actually composing yourself, you're like you're in a tunnel. And you're only seeing this, you know. Sometimes, like that's one of my problems. Let me see what this is. Major, right? C major. Try that. Try A there. We could. That was really funny. Okay. We're spending way too much time. So now we'll go back to D minor. Take this A here. Copy it. See what I could do to make good voice leading. I'm just kind of trying to get it in there so we don't have to, you know, I like to lay out the foundation first and then tweak. If I know what I'm doing, that helps a little bit. Then we're going to F. Let's just listen to this. We could do doubles. We could double it. A little trick I learned. Might not work though. See what it sounds like. Too busy. Way too busy. All right. It's going up too high. What we want to do, where it takes a lot of time, is I kind of want to break up these notes, so I'm just staying in that center where that A was. We don't want to stay in that octave. We want to change some of these notes around. I think that C's fine. It's just when we get up to this D minor here. Well, we might be able to drop it down. I don't want to be in too low. might be too low. Yeah, it's way too low. Which we're dropping. Can't even hear it. So. I think it might work. I don't know. I just don't like that. That F. That F. That's not good. Overlap. Whoa. Oh, I see what we're doing. Hold the phone. Whoops. I had staccato notes going there. Doing done, done, done. Staccato. Yeah, those sound better. It's kind of one of those things. I'm putting it in there. You might not be able to hear it very well, but you can feel it. And I'll show that. Let me take it out after this. Oh, what? Hold on. Okay. So let's play this again. Sorry. We're spending way too much time on this. Now see? I'll bring it back in. Hear it? It's one of those things you can feel it, you know. And what we could do is we can, you know, bring down the volume a little bit and maybe bring down to the modulation and expression. But see, you don't want to worry about all that right now. That's something you want to do after you got the piece written. You know, all the modulation data, all that stuff. I do that later because right now I'm just composing. You just want to get it out, and then you can go back and finesse it, you know. All right, so we got. I think we're good here. We need a change. Note though on that melt. Where did I leave it at? Leave it at E. So I'm just trying to set it up for this when we go into a C here. Now where do we go? Let's just see how it's gonna work. I often do this a lot. I'll play it, and then just get the piano out and play the chord that I'm gonna go to next, you know, and see how it's gonna sound. Okay, that will work. So we're gonna go from C to E minor. Okay. Trying to think of doing inversion. Instead of doing always root notes, you know. We're doing C, E minor, F major 7. Nope. E minor, or A minor. Alright, now what are we gonna do? So we had tempted to go and redo the intro, but I don't know. I don't think that's gonna work. Hold on, let me hear it again. Now I'm listening in context. I don't know. I think we might have to scratch this. Maybe go into something new, because we've already heard it 3 times. Actually, I know what I can do. Let's get rid of that. Back here. I had an idea. What I'm gonna do a little trick here. Might change that chord to the chord here. The D sus, so we might be able to go D minor. We'll see. What am I to do instead of the F there? Do a D sus chord. D sus 2. So we can go A minor, C, D minor, to D sus, and then to C. That might work. I was thinking G, do a D minor to G. Do that. Instead of doing F, so we do A minor, E, D, what's that, F, D. We do that, and then we can keep the melody the same, but I did change it up. Actually, that was actually G minor. That's what I was thinking of doing. Instead of the F, do G minor. Let's try it. Why not? That's what I'm playing right now. What is that? A minor. Wait a minute. I went back to the A minor there? Wait a minute. I think I did, so it's not an F. Hold on here. E. I think. Oh, that is C. Hold the phone. Okay. Good here. So I did change the chord. Those aren't right. So we did already change the chords. Okay. So what we're going to do, everything I was doing, get rid of. Okay. Now we got to find out these brass. We got A there. C. So that's what's going on. So. So that's what I did wrong. I wonder if everything was kind of funky. Still sounded kind of cool. Okay. So we just wasted a whole bunch of time doing that. There we go. Now let's see. All right. Oh, okay. Little trick. You're changing to a new section. Keep the rhythm the same. Don't change up the rhythm when you're changing to a new section. Try to keep the rhythm the same, or try to keep something the same so the listener is connected to it. I always used to find myself, okay, like when I'm going into a B section, let's change everything up in the rhythm. It's too jaunting. There's sometimes there's a way to do that, and there's a way to actually do that and make it work, or there a need for that. But normally, what you want to do is you want to keep the rhythm the same. Because listen how this transition, you're right with it. We're in new chords. Oh, hey, how's it going? Yeah, see, like it was not so jarring. Like you're with it, but we changed the chords, and then you can change the melody. Hey, man, thanks for the fall. TDE. By the way, I installed the was it twit something. So I saw that the chat when you put it in there was like really small. So I'm still ironing out all the cool stuff. So, but thanks, man. Thanks for the follow. You're welcome for the tip. Um, yeah, I'm learning, and I've learned a lot of stuff, and just by researching and doing, and just by listening and transcribing uh, pieces, you just pick up this stuff. So I'm always willing to share what I've learned. I don't think you were watching, or you might have been, but like I mentioned earlier on the stream for everybody, that this is my journey, of becoming a composer, of this type of music. Which libraries am I using currently? Yeah, we can go through it real quick. The strings are Cinematic Studio strings. There's the light doing ensemble here, and then I'm using Cinestrings from Cinesamples. I usually layer those two. I find they work really well together because Cinematic Studio Strings is more not dull but darker, and then the Cinesamples Cinestrings are really bright. So they really go together really well. Here, let me pull up the. I'm using the light ensemble patch for the Cinematic Studio Strings. These just came out I think about a month ago or so. So, yeah. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm just using the sustain patches. Here's all my libraries here on the side. You can see that I have. I don't really have too many. I'm trying to keep it very simple. Uh, I bought a lot of libraries, and they just sit there. They just sit there and I don't even use them. So, but my go-to string library is probably Cinestrings. So that, and then here's Cinestrings. Oh, you got them too, but you're just using them for other general. Yeah, man, they work. You can do that. That's how I got started in this. I was doing ambient guitar videos, and I was working on an EP. I do a side project called Imperfect Silence, but if you go to up there, you see Todd Cadwards for the YouTube. So I was working on this EP that I wanted to put out, and I was like, well, I need some strings and stuff. So I found Albion by Spitfire. Yep. Yeah. Your best libraries are from ADO and Spitfire. Yeah, I would agree. I don't have any ADO libraries right now, but I really agree with the Spitfire. So I found Albion 1. And I was like, well, I'll use this, with the project that I was working on for the ambient, because I needed strings and a little bit of horns and stuff. So I bought Albion 1, the original Albion 1, and then they came out with the here, I'll go down here. Yeah, right here. This one right here. I bought this right when it was going out. They were getting rid of it, and they released it. Now it's called Albion 1, which they revamped it. So that's how I got started in this. I was working on an EP, which I never finished that I need to finish. I kind of was working on this ambient thing, and then it kind of went off into this orchestral thing. So Um, yeah. So, but I would agree with that. Spitfire makes some really good stuff. I used to buy a lot of Spitfire stuff, but anyway. So let's get back to what I was. You want to know what else I was using? So I'm using Cinestrings there, and then the brass I'm using, of course, Cinesamples. I love Cinesample stuff. They just sound so good, and it's the tone that I like. Like very uh, classics film scores. Like John Williams and stuff like that. They sound like that, or you can get that sound from them. But that's not how I use them. So. Um, but yeah, I'm using the stream is lagging. It could be me. I apologize if it is. I'm not. It doesn't. I've only dropped 29 frames, so it could be my internet. But it does lag a little bit. There's like a delay when you type and when I talk, so there's a little bit of a lag. But I apologize. There is. So I'm using Cinebrass, a little bit of Cinebrass core for the. I think I was using the tubas with the bass trombone, or was I? No. Actually, I'm not using anything there. I'm using Cinebrass Pro. Yeah, I'm using a tuba. The tuba solo eighths. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and refresh. Um, so I'm using the tuba solo eighths to do the bass notes basically, and then I'm using the Monster Low Brass that comes with Cinebrass Pro. I'm using that patch there. So a lot of Cinebrass, a lot of Cinesample stuff in this piece. And then for the drums, percussion, what I'm using, I picked this up just a little while ago because Cinesamples is they're having a, I don't know if they're still currently having a sale, but they were at the time, their fall sale, and it was really cheap, so I picked it up. Drums of War. I picked up Drums of War and Drums of War 2, which these are really old libraries, but that's what's doing the that that one, and then that one. And then I'm using some Hans Zimmer percussion, which is Spitfire. Really love It's HZ01, the first Hans Zimmer percussion. Love it. I mean, mostly the people buy it for the epic music stuff. I like some epic music, but I like traditional film scores, like John Williams stuff like that. So I'm trying to blend the two and do my own thing. Kind of be in that, with the film scores that I grew up with, the music I grew up with, and kind of make it modern with the epic music, the drums, the da 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 da. So you know, it's my own style. But yeah, I'm using the bamboo ensembles, those with the low booms. But definitely, if you're into epic music, you have to get Hans Zimmer percussion by Spitfire. But you probably already know that because you said you got libraries from them. And that's it. That's pretty much all I'm using right now, I believe. And then yeah, so the 12, the horn that I love from Cinesamples is this 12 horn ensemble. It's in Cinebrass Pro. It's just I love it. I tend to use it too much. I just love it. It's so powerful, but it's probably in a real context, in a real orchestra, that probably horns aren't going to sound like that. They could. Which piano is the best, in my opinion, for solo melodies and higher pitches? I need to adjust this chat right here. That is just really small. Let me this here. Like I said, I'm glad. There we go. Okay, so what is best solar melodies and higher pitches, either for ambient type of song or some songs? Which is the best for chords? I got all that four that you got. So which one is the best of these four? Okay, so which piano is the best for solo melodies? I really gravitate towards The Giant by Native Instruments. Let me load it up here. I love it, and I use a preset actually here, which is I think it's Intimate. Yeah, I use this. I use that patch. It's a preset. I don't do anything else to it. Maybe put a little reverb on it. It's got some reverb on it, but an additional reverb. I think any piano really works. I think for ambient music, with the key is your reverb and delays. That's where the beauty. That's what makes it ambient. Is the reverbs and delays. What reverbs and delays you're using. A good reverb that I don't have personally is, it's escaping me. Oh, I can't think of it right now, but it's really a cheap reverb. Um, I can't think of it now. It'll come to me. But yeah, the Giant. This is the piano I really tend to gravitate towards, like intimate stuff. And ambient stuff would work. This Cinematic Studio Strings one, I got when I bought the. It has a really good sound too. And also, one I just picked up from Spitfire. It's in their labs. Oh, looks like we have to. I recently moved all my libraries over to for a there it is. It's in their labs. It's a Spitfire felt piano, and man, this thing is. If you donate to the charity they have, I think it's UNICEF. I think it's like £2 a bit. I think it's like $2 for American. This could be really cool for ambient, but that, man, I love that sound. Really gentle. Oh, text messages here. The only thing I don't like about OS 10 is the text messages, the notifications. Yeah, turn that stuff off. But anyway, that would be those are my go-to pianos. Also, Cinesample's Piano and Blues pretty cool. Oh man, I forgot that this I changed everything over, but not when I did this project. So, second, gotta come up here. I know a lot of composers use this Piano in Blue. Yeah, of course it depends on many things. Velocity, reverb, delay, contrast to other sounds in the track. Definitely. But those are my go-to pianos currently. The Giant, like I said, is a native instruments. If you get complete, it's already in there. The Grandeur, the Giant, the Gentleman, those are all nice pianos. Piano and Blues by Cinesamples. It's reasonably priced. I think it's about $100 or around there. Like I said, look for when Cinesamples does their sales. You can get it for a good price. I think that's when I picked that up when they did their summer sale or something. But that Spitfire felt piano, man, if you haven't looked in their lab section on Spitfire's website, and you could, it's like $2. You can donate and get, one instrument. I mean, they're like £2 per instrument, but there's some really good instruments in that Spitfire Labs, and that's one of them. Spitfire felt piano. If you can, pick it up. It just sounds really good. I'm actually using it. I'm scoring a little short film right now, and I'm using that piano. This piano. It sounds so good. But yeah, I think, what else are we talking about here? So EDM songs. I'm not really. I'm not. I've never really done that type of dance music. I don't really do that, so I really couldn't talk to that. But just from like the dance music I have heard, I think the Giant, man, that would probably work a lot. Um, Maybe this one here, this Piano 162 was one I found a long time ago, and I think it works pretty good. But like the Gentleman, any of the native instruments pianos are really nice. I also uh let's see. I don't have it in this template because I just got it, but East West stuff. They have some good pianos too. But it's all what you're looking for, what kind of sound. But to me, I think after a while they all just start to sound different, but they all just have different reverbs or they're recorded differently. But yeah, those are my go-to. All right, so let's see what we're doing. Let's change the melody. I'm gonna change the mood here. Am I doing it at F7 there? I don't think I am. F. Okay, so F7. Whoops. I gotta change my. Got to do this. I changed my buffer size. 512. Change it to. Every time I stream, I gotta change it. Yeah, that's my template. This is an older template. I've added a few new instruments in the newer template. Um, yeah, so the beauty, I used to be a Logic Pro user. Um, so, but so I just switched to Cubase. But one of the reasons I switched to Cubase is because for some reason, Cubase I find does scoring or this type of music and templates very well. So what it does is I have a key short here. For me, I have it set as D to deactivate, but that activates the track. So it actually puts it, when I deactivate it, it clears the track out and it's not using any RAM. And I'm telling you, if right now I have 1,200 tracks in my template, so if all those were active right now, my computer would blow up because I have a Mac Pro 2010 with 32 gigs of RAM. So it's an older computer, and it shows its age, as you can hear when the stream sometimes it bogs it down. Is it lagging? Yeah. So it might be my computer, or it could be my connection. I'm on a pretty good connection. I'm on 30 down and 5 up. It's usually pretty good, but like I said, I upload these to YouTube, and usually when I upload them to YouTube, the quality's a little bit good because it actually records to my computer. I'm recording it to my computer, so if it does get a little bad, we can. Actually, my internet might be throttling it too. I've been streaming now for over an hour. But anyway, yeah. So go back to the template. So that's the beauty about Cubase is you can turn all these tracks off, which they are, and so they're there at whenever I need something, but they're not using RAM and they're not using processing on my computer. That's why I switched to Cubase, because you could kind of do it in Logic. They freeze tracks, but it's a nightmare. This is so simple. I just hit a button, it's gone, and it's not using RAM. So I mean, let's look at my computer activity. Whoops, wrong one. So, we're using the CPU we're hitting it pretty good. But if you look at memory, I'm only using 18 gigs of memory. I only have 32. So I still have some space and room to grow here. I would think I could probably use about maybe 30 to 40 tracks. Maybe not at a time, but within a piece, and my computer will handle it. One day I'm hoping to upgrade, to the newer Mac Pros, but right now, if you buy a new Mac Pro, it's like 3 years old, and it's a waste of money. I could build a PC, and also that's one thing I'm considering, and that's why I switched to Cubase. Also, is one day I might have to switch back to a PC. I don't want to. I love being on a Mac. I've been on a Mac for a long time, almost 10 years. It just works for me, but there might be a day that I have to switch, and Logic doesn't go on PC. Cubase does, so it wouldn't mess with my workflow. So that's why I switched to Cubase to future-proof myself, because it's a DAW that's cross-platformed. But anyway, so yeah, so that's my template. It's pretty big. I do have a video up on YouTube of a full walkthrough of my template, but I think, like I said, I've added a few new instruments that I got or that I wasn't using. It's always one thing about a template. It's always changing. It's always changing. So it's never set in stone. All right. So let's try to make a new melody here. Now we're in C. Yes, in some DAWs you can deactivate tracks with Bitwig Studio, for example. By the way, do you need to bounce some MIDI files into audio at the end of the composition or in the middle? Man, I don't have to. I probably should, and that would save on processing power. But normally I don't. I just bounce it all down at once. Like I'm like, I don't do what most people probably do, and it probably hurts, and I could probably get by with my computer and processing power, but it never seems to really affect me because I'm not doing a very complex piece, if I was doing like an actual classical score, like Bach or Beethoven or something like that, and I'm using all these instruments and all these things, it would probably blow up my computer. But for what I do no, I don't ever have to do that. But I probably should. Like I said, I just keep all the tracks deactivated that I'm not using, and it seems to be fine. I mean, here's my meter. My meter's up here. I can't really see it because I have the banner. Let me take the banner off real quick. Okay. If you look up here, that's my, that's the CPU power. Let me play it. You'll probably see it spike here. Yeah, so it's spiking right there. So yeah, when I do that, I just, you can just up your buffer size, but I'm streaming too, so you got to remember I'm using OBS and streaming on the computer, so that's using a lot of power. Normally when I'm not streaming, it's not that high, and I usually have my buffer size down really low. So not that I'm streaming it, that's taking up more. So if I had a better computer, it wouldn't be as laggy probably. Okay, so we've heard horns. What do we got? What do we have here? I want to switch up the color. Alright, so we've already heard from horns, so now we want to give horns a rest. We got to think of something else to do. Okay. That's another thing. That's what I'm learning too. Is to switch up the things. But say in the today's kind of composing or film scores, like Hans Zimmer kind of thing, like woodwinds aren't allowed, or it's just strings, brass, drums. Do I have choral libraries? Yes, I do, and choir libraries. Yeah, let's look at them real quick. So I have Voxos, which is Cinesamples. Vocalese, these are just, this is, what is it? Can't think of it off the top of my head. And then I got some, I think from Sound Iron, Venus and Mars. I was really lacking on the choir library, so I picked that one up. I kind of like it. And then there's Atmosphere, which they have some choir stuff in there. But my main go-to is Voxos. I like it. Because it fits for what I need it for. I'm not a big choir person. I think there's times for choir to be used, but I think it's overused. Oh, hold on. I could do choirs. We could do something like that. Let's see what that sounds like. So this is the phrase builder. Let me pull it up here. So the phrase builder, you could pick your own phrases. They got a lot of them here. Do, mi. This is just, I can edit it myself and make my own phrases, but that's just the standard that comes with. But anyway, it's pretty cool. They got legato, boys choir, clusters, textures, rise, stabs, octaves, chords. The chords is nice. I use the chords a lot for background. So it does I'm just playing one note on the keyboard. So they have it. Here, let me pull it up. See what I'm talking about. Okay, so they have to divide it. So down here I think is majors. Yeah. And then up in here of the keyboard, whoops, right behind. So this is the majors, and then over here would be minors. So all you have to do is, if you want to play C major, That's C major, and then I think this is C minor. Yeah. But then they have different voicings of the choir. Uh, that's C minor, but it sounds different than. It's more bass treble. So you can put them together. Fuller sound. So I tend to use this for when I'm doing choir to layer it in. So I'll show you what I do. So we go C, E minor, F. It's kind of annoying to watch. I mean, it's laggy every 10 seconds. I'm sorry, man. I don't know why it's lagging. It could be my internet. Is it the sound or is it the actual video? I don't know. I mean, I can't see it on my end here. That's the problem. I don't know. That's one thing I don't like about using OBS. It doesn't really tell me, um, if I'm lagging or not. If I can pull it. Video and sound in the same time. Huh. It could be my it could be my connection. Actually, hold on, man. I think I might know what the problem is. There we go. For some reason, I have it connected to Ethernet on my computer, but like for some things, I have to use Wi-Fi, which makes no sense. I mean, I get it why it does that. Let me know if that's better, because now I'm on Ethernet. But that's the thing. If I haven't quite figured out the Mac Pro is if the Wi-Fi is on, but you still have it plugged into Ethernet, does it do both of the connections or does it do Wi-Fi? I don't. That's the thing. I'm not sure. So I switched it to Ethernet, so maybe that will help. I forgot about that. I forgot I had that on. Hopefully that's better. No, I know. I'm not asking you to help me out. I'm just saying. Um, is it better now? I had it on Wi-Fi. I forgot I had it on. I forgot I had it on Wi-Fi up here. Now I'm connected to Ethernet. Anyway. Dan. Yeah, that's the context of Voxos, but I don't think we're gonna do that. But that's how you can do it, and plus you can change the. Yeah, I probably want to do that lower. There we go. There we go. That E. how that sounds. I don't know. I don't know about the choir right now. It's too much. Let me just try to come up with a melody. Trying to think of what I'm gonna do though. Yeah, didn't lag. I think that what the problem was. I had it on Wi-Fi. Yeah, dude, it was on Wi-Fi. I totally forgot because normally I run my computer Ethernet. I have it plugged in Ethernet, but I was trying to. I can't remember why I had to put it on Wi-Fi. Oh, I think 'cause I was trying to use an app on my iPad to control Cubase, and you have to use it through Wi-Fi. I just forgot to turn it off. So I hope that fixed it, man. I apologize. Yeah, because normally my computer's hardwired, so for streaming purposes. Because yeah, Wi-Fi sucks for that. All right, I hope I fixed it. So I don't think that choir is gonna work right here. All right, as you can see, I'm stuttering and trying to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do here. Um, I just don't want to use horns again because I already used them. A choir, I guess I could do a female or something. I just don't like choirs. This is the problem, like, man, like when you're streaming live, you can see it's it's tough to compose and stream at the same time. But this is something new for me, and this is something I want to do because I like having an audience and chat and helping and kind of being part of the process. But for me, it's new, and I'm used to doing it all myself. And where did I learn to compose? By doing. I didn't go. I mean, I took a couple of courses in college a long time ago, about 10 years ago. I took music theory and stuff like that, which I learned a little bit, but I kind of forgot about some of it. But it's still up in there. Um, a lot of it's just by doing and listening to other pieces and transcribing, which I need to do more. But just by listening and trial and error. That's basically it. Like I said, I started playing guitar, bands and doing that stuff. So that's kind of my background, and that's where I'm from. Like that's my music stuff, metal and rock and roll and stuff like that. Rock and roll. Who says rock and roll? And so this is new. This is all new. But there's a guy online. His name's Mike Verda. He offers master classes for like $30 for like for video, and learned a lot there. That's where I've learned a lot. And so yeah, it's just by listening, using my ear. But I don't take any. That's the problem with today's music is, we only hear. So who's my favorite composer? That's a tough one because I like guitar players, and I like Steve Vai. He's a huge influence on me. I think that's where it all started. Uh, when I got into Steve Vai, and I used to be a huge Metallica fan. I still am. I love Metallica. But when they did the S&M album, the classical, thing, that really that changed that's where it started for me. Like the light classical music. 'Cause I never really used to listen to classical music or stuff like film music, but um, Alan Silvestri would be one of my favorite composers because I love Back to the Future. Um, that's my favorite movie probably of all time is Back to the Future, and that score, I just loved it. I mean, so Alan Silvestri is probably one. John Williams, of course, but not like most people. Most people are like, "Oh my God, John Williams!" Like I like John Williams. I mean, I love his scores. I love Star Wars. I love Jaws. I love E.T. Jurassic Park. Those are probably my favorite. Schindler's List. Um, yeah, but I don't want to be John Williams. Like that's not. I like Hans Zimmer, um, but he's not like up there. You know, he's not like my favorite composer, but I do respect him and what he does. No one else can do. That guy, you know, it's just a different approach. I mean, I relate to Hans Zimmer probably more than like a John Williams because Hans Zimmer comes from a similar background as me. Pop rock music. So I have that in common. So that's probably why I can relate to his compositions and stuff because that's the kind of world I come from, and I don't really relate with John Williams because um, I'm not from that. But who else would be my favorite composers? That's a tough one, man. That's a tough question because I have so many from different spots. You think it's all from film music and classical music. I mean, for classical, my favorite composers are the oddest, but Vivaldi. I love Vivaldi because he writes really great melodies and catchy melodies. I like Mozart. I like Beethoven, Bach, um, Bartok, Mahler. Um, yeah, those are probably my favorite classical composers. So, what would you say that your weakness are so far in your composition? Structure and making it interesting for long parts of time. I can come up with, you know, 4 8 bar phrases or really cool moments, but it's developing that over time is my weakness. Um, so that's what I'm working on, making things go longer, developing them, keeping them similar but making them interesting. So that's my weakness is development, which is every composer's weakness, when you're starting out because it's tough, man. We can all write a 4 bar, 8 bar cool thing, chord progression and a melody on top of it, but to make that thing speak over, 4 minutes or like symphonic music, they a movement can be 20 minutes long, but it's all based on one phrase. So that's my weakness, and that's what I'm working on. So what do you think is missing in your composition? Variety. That's what's missing in a lot of today's modern music is variety, color. When I say color, what I mean is instruments, because everybody right now knows what a horn is. They know this horn. They know, which I love. I love it, man. French horn is probably my favorite instrument in the orchestra besides like the strings and stuff like that. But as far as melody writing, I love French horn melodies. They sound so powerful and bold. Just love it. So that's it. But to make your piece interesting and engaging to the listener, you have to have different varieties because if you're just hearing horn all the time, it gets old. So, but for some reason in today's scores, you can't use woodwinds, which like Hans Zimmer doesn't use woodwinds. He might layer them in there, but you don't hear you don't hear a flute melody, and in Batman Begins, you're not gonna hear that you're hearing the horns because they're powerful. So yeah, what's missing in my composition is just like changing up the colors and basically one thing I'm working on too, a weakness of mine is moving the ideas around within the orchestra. So like I said, I had the brass melody, so let's take that melody and move it to a different family, either strings, woodwinds, or something else. So that's something I'm working on too, and that's a weakness. So yeah, I hope those answer your questions. What are some of your weaknesses, or what do you find you have trouble with? Because I mean, if you come from pop music or rock music, it's an idea, and you're on that idea for 3 to 4 minutes. You have your A section, the verse, and then it goes into your chorus. Um, so and that's it. I mean, and then you have a bridge. It might be a little different. That's standard pop music. But when you listen to classical and film music, the older scores like John Williams, stuff like that, 80s, they develop over time. That's why I love Back to the Future. I can put on the Back to the Future soundtrack. I've seen the movie so many times, but when I listen to it from beginning to end, I know where I'm at in the story just by listening to the soundtrack, because it develops and it's weaving in and out and telling the music tells a story. Today's music or film music doesn't really, it tells a story, but it doesn't tell a story from the beginning to the end. Listen to any score, compare it to a score from 30, 40 years ago, and you'll hear the difference. Like Batman Begins. When you hear Batman Begins, that melody that he does for Batman, uh, Batman's thing. It's this. If you listen to it at the beginning of the movie and you listen to it at the end of the movie, it's the same thing. It hasn't moved. It hasn't went anywhere. It's not like, because Batman's on a journey. He's been through a journey, and he changes. Over the movie, but his melody stays the same. And it doesn't reflect that. So like if you listen to Star Wars, the A New Hope soundtrack, listen to that and listen to like Luke, Leia's themes, their themes that they have. They develop and change while the character changes. So that's just me. That's my little bias, I guess. So it does depend on the genre, I guess, if you're saying color is missing. If you make house music or EDM music, you just want to have a catchy melody, and in electric dance music, you don't want to have actually too much for it. Yeah, perfectly stated. Yeah, it depends on the genre you're writing for. But for this type of music, film music and orchestral music, you have to, because it will get old and boring, and you have all these instruments, to write for. So I would definitely agree with that. Yeah, dance music, yeah, you want the beat. It's all about the drums. It's about the patterns and the beat. That's what dance music is. You're not really listening to the melody and the storytelling, because it's just, you're in a club, all you're hearing is, the whole time with the little catchy little dee 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 dee. So yeah, I totally agree with your statement there. Yeah, you wouldn't we wouldn't have all. I mean, it just depends though. What's the Skrillex, like his type of music? I forgot what it's called. Like that stuff is different, man. That's just like production stuff. Like that's what a lot of the music is today, and film music is production, sound design, which is cool. I love it. Okay, I make any type of music. I'm not really that advanced. I just started 1.5 year ago, and maybe one ago more seriously. So my biggest weakness is I'm sometimes lazy to add variation and adding effects filter. Dubstep, yeah, dubstep. Yeah, we're all lazy, man, as composers. Doesn't matter what you're writing for. You just fall into that trap, and you know that's how you get better, is by pushing yourself. I fall into the same trap. Like right now, man, look at it. We're only 50 seconds or a minute into this piece, and I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? I could just copy and paste and make it and switch it up, and we're all cool. Um, Development. That's what I mean. Development is your piece is developing, telling a story. Um, so yeah, I totally agree with that. I'm the same way. I have a weakness too. Um, I started. I mean, I was writing rock music and for a while. Um, doing my own thing, and I started this about a year ago, doing this orchestral. But exactly about a year ago, I started getting into it. Um, it just takes time, you know. We all want to be great. But like I said, the best thing that can help you is transcribing songs or pieces that you like by your ear, like sitting down at the piano and playing them and trying to figure them out and seeing what they're doing, and then go back and look at the score if you can get the score or whatever. That's the best way to help you. And just listen to a lot of pieces, and listen to a lot of variety of music. Don't just listen to the music that you write for, because I don't. I listen to a lot of music, man. I'm listening to rock, metal, classical, blues, jazz, and you'll hear something that you like that you might be able to throw into your piece, that might not be dance music or but you could take that piece and make it yours in that piece. That hell, that's something I've never heard before. So yeah, I'm not really too familiar with dance music, but I know it's a lot of production, and that's a skill that you have to have today, which is one I don't have. Because like I said, I come from the band thing, you know. I come from rock music, and it's just like okay, I have three chords and I play them, and that's it. So, like you said, I think film music is getting boring or outdated by using the same sounds over and over again. Yes, highly agree, man. Because if you listen, it all started with Hans Zimmer. I mean, Batman. Batman is what did it. Because if you listen to scores before Batman, they were a lot different. They were the old John Williams type stuff, which I love, and which was probably getting dated too. So Hans came in, and that was stuff we never heard before, and it was awesome. I love Batman Begins. And, Dark Knight. I mean, I like Hans Zimmer. Um, but now everybody wants to do Hans Zimmer, and that sound is overdone. It's a parody of itself. So, like you said, it's same sounds. You're always hearing brass, you're always hearing choir, and you're always hearing drums. It gets old. But you can also say this type of music. Let's say this. I don't. You meant. I think you misspelled their type of music. You can't say a rock track is boring or outdated because you can hear guitars in every rock song. No, no, yeah, right. I mean, there are sounds which are significant for some genres. Yes, well, when you listen to rock music, you're expecting to hear a drum, bass, and guitar, maybe keyboards, and a vocalist. That's rock. That's what we know. That's the idiom or the genre of music. Same with metal. You're expecting to hear double bass, drum, and cymbals and bass and distorted guitars. That's heavy metal. So yeah, but the thing is, with film music, it's changed. It's not that the sound, the sounds can change. That's fine. It's the structure and the development of film music has changed. Because now when you listen to a film, they're like little songs that have been put into the film, but they don't weave together and tell us a long story. That's what I mean. Um, so like I was saying, like if you listen to Star Wars, it's a great soundtrack for how it weaves and changes throughout the movie. If you listen to the theme, like Luke Skywalker's theme is from the beginning of the movie to the end is completely, it's the same melody, but it's changing in different contexts. That's what I mean by sounds are outdated. Anything gets stale, man. Anything gets old. Like look at dance music, how it's changed over the years. I'm gonna be 35, so I heard dance music, back in the day in the 90s. It's a lot different than it is today. Electronic dance music is more about automations, a little tweaks and glitches. Yeah, it's production, and that's what's happening. Is a lot of guys from dance music and production and sound design are coming over to film music because Hans, that's what Hans does, but he puts more into it. But that sound design stuff is huge right now. But you need to know it. You have to know it today if you want a job. Because the John Williams scores that I grew up with, we don't do that anymore. Music doesn't do that. It's all about the cool moments. So I'm trying to be modern, but yet still have my foot in that. So if I can do what Hans or whatever that sound, but make my music develop over time and tell a story, I think I'd have something. That's just me though. That's my personal bias. Piano soundtracks for movies like American Beauty. Yeah, I love American Beauty. That was great. That's Thomas Newman, isn't it? He does a lot of piano stuff. I love piano. Piano is probably the one instrument that just it can get boring and stale, but it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like it has so much emotion, and you can do so much with the piano and make it interesting for, like you said, the whole freaking soundtrack is piano. It doesn't get old. Piano is one of those instruments. I would totally agree with that. I love piano because it has so much different sounds. I mean, let's pull up a piano patch here. I mean, you got this dark stuff, and then if you do rhythm stuff, like you do rhythm stuff, and then but you can do soft and delicate or creepy, whatever. I'm not a piano player, so. So I mean, it's so flexible. I'm the same. I love piano soundtracks or piano music. And I guess another weakness of mine that I know you asked me this earlier is chord progressions. Falling on the 1 4 5, which you can do. People love that, but it's making it more interesting and branching off from the 1 4 5 and doing maybe something else, and expanding my chord palette instead of just using triads of normal C. Let's do C7 or C6 or sus or whatever. Oh, that wasn't C. But, you know. But, like that stuff. What also important is not only the sounds that you're using, what compositions are lacking is often unusual music structure and weird chord progressions. I'm sick of these boring chord progressions. Yeah, and that's because, but that's what everybody knows. See, we're different. Musicians and composers are different from the everyday man. The normal men and women. Sorry, um, they don't hear it like we're hearing it. So they need something familiar. But once you get that familiar in, then that's when you bring in something new, and then they're like, "Whoa!" So, but yeah, you're totally right, man. All the songs and stuff is just cookie cutter because they know it's gonna sell, and they're not willing to take risks and stuff. But I think Hans does though, because if you listen to all his soundtracks, man, they don't sound the same. He changes it every time, and he bring in new elements, and I mean his voice is there. It's Hans Zimmer, but they don't sound the same. Yep. Hey, how you doing, Cornelius? Difficult to walk the line. Yep, between familiar and surprising. Definitely, it's so hard, man. Being a composer is that's the hardest part of our job. You know. Yeah, but on the other hand, if you're selling your stuff, who cares, right? But also, that's another debate and topic is, you know, are you just doing it to sell stuff? To make money. I don't care either way. I would love to make money off my music, but I don't expect to. I just do it for me. It's for me, because I want to. And if I don't create music, I, I don't know what else to do. you know. So it's just a passion I have deep down, and I think most of us do. We have that passion. Um, you know. I hope I pronounced your name right. It's Cornelius, right? I watch your streams, man. I love your streams and your videos on YouTube. I'm a subscriber. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I love it because I'm learning. And I mean, this is all new to me, and this orchestral stuff, and yeah, we are just debating within the musical community. But your average guy doesn't care what sounds you are using all the time. Yeah, agreed. We're musicians. We're composers. This is what we like to do. Oh, you're not, and like that's just what we are. That's what we do. But yeah, the everyday person, they couldn't tell, Let's see, oh, that just sounds different, you know. Okay, cool, perfect pump. Great. Yeah, man. Yeah, I love your stuff. That last stream you did, I think was number 5 or whatever. That piece you're writing was cool. So do more stuff like that. Like I love people like what I'm doing here, trying to do. We got side railed here. um, but I love great discussion. So no, don't feel bad what we're talking. But I love watching people's process of composing. It's just because I pick up stuff, and tricks and new things like that I don't think about. That I try. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing. And thanks for following the live stream too. I saw that you did, so appreciate it, both of you guys. But this is why I'm doing the streaming, because we can talk and gather people here, and they can suggest stuff, and we can all grow. We all can get better. So that's the goal. But I'm stuck right here at this point, and I'm procrastinating. But another weakness of mine is always falling on using the same predictable stuff. This piece I'm working here, we've been working on it for like the last 5 streams. Like composing and streaming is completely new to me. I'm so used to doing it on my own and failing and and doing it and getting it out. But when you have an audience and you're live, you're self-conscious. So this is all new to me. So my process is a little slower than normal. So it's taken me a while to do this piece because I get afraid and it's just something I have to get over. Self-conscious thing. But here we'll play it. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. I have a different intro, but that I would want to try. Thinking like I was gonna go into strings here, but I was gonna change the chord progression. But see, like, yeah, finding composing on stream is very challenging. Yes, it is for me. It's been very tough, but it's something I want to get better at and do. I love it. I love streaming and talking and meeting people. Because then you have someone else listening to your work, because we sit here and compose for hours. Mine is speed. I have to get better and get faster. Because look I'm only, I've wasted like 4 or 5 hours just composing this little piece here, and my objectivity of it, is out the window. You guys are just hearing it and like, whoa, and I've heard this for 7, 8 hours. So, so you're like, I want to change it. And, but you really don't need to. But so I was thinking maybe doing the melody and strings here because I introduced them. Switch up the color, but I'm changing the chord progression so we can change the melody a little bit. But then we got sidetracked. Oh wow, I've been streaming for 2 hours, I think. This is the longest stream I think I've ever done. So what do you guys think? I mean, what do you think on the piece so far? Change the drums, the pattern, yeah. Or maybe add a couple different drum tones in there. Keep the pattern. I was thinking that too. I just like to get the way I compose. I like to get the framework out, get the whole piece sketched, and then go in and do the bells and whistles because if I find myself doing that while I'm composing, I spend way too much time, and then I lose focus and lose track of where the track could go. But I use woodwinds, so I was thinking about doing woodwinds here. I just hate that rule that we've like abandoned woodwinds, but it is what it is. So I tend to use the Spitfire high octave. I love. Yeah, the horn line. Yeah, sounds good and heroic. Yeah, that was my initial thought with the piece, was to be very heroic. I can't help but write for woodwinds myself. I love them, man. There's just a different feeling towards them, and they motion, great color. So where do I want the piece to end up? Well, this is the thing. I started writing this piece like a month ago, and I went away for a while. I've been working on a couple of small films, short films. So I've been away from this piece for a while, and I kind of forgot where I wanted to go. I thought right here, I think I wanted to do a drum thing, and then go back into the melody. That's what I think I wanted to do, but now I'm not so much. But yeah, my initial thought was to be kind of heroic and stuff like that. So yeah, the horn line is the main melody. So I was thinking changing up the melody here. To something different, and then changing the color to strings. That's what I was going to do. So let's try it. Why not? But see, I fall victim to this sound, man. I love it. I just love the Spitfire from Albion 1, the high octave patch, really good. That's another thing about the Albions. You know, if you don't know what you're doing, which I'm one of them, I don't really know how to write this stuff for instruments. I'm learning. Um, I don't know what it's doing, but I'm guessing it's doing violins and probably violas and octaves, or just violins and octaves. I'm guessing that patch. So we fall victim to using these ensemble pieces. We think that's how it is, but we don't actually know how to write it out. For each instrument, which could be very. Okay, hear it one more time. Um, okay, yeah. So we'll do the melody again. See, that's the thing. I'm losing objectivity on the piece because I've heard it so many freaking times. I know the melody. Oh, that's my daughter. Like she's coming up here. But by the way, how long are usually soundtracks like these that you're working on? And is there any common structure like in other genres? Well, this isn't for a short film. This is just a piece that I'm doing for myself to grow and learn and try new techniques. Um, the piece that I'm working on currently, the films that I have so far, I think it's like 8 minutes long. So it could, you know, the music could be 30 seconds, a minute, depending. And when I'm trying to see, I'm all learning this, like this film composing thing. This is all new to me, so I'm not sure, but I'm trying to use what I know, common structures, and to build. That's my daughter. Is to build on the motifs that I written for it, and you know, to modulate them and change them up. That's what you kind of have to do over time. Uh, so it's a learning experience for myself. But yeah, like I said, it's like 8 minutes. The piece I'm working on right now. Um, but it's kind of like a sci-fi, kind of like X Files, kind of like weird thing like that. I would show it, but I don't know if he wants me to, the director to show it. I haven't asked for his permission. But that's my goal too, is like if when I'm getting some more short films, or films to do live streams and do it on there if the director is cool with it. So that's a future goal of mine. I'm just getting started. I did a piece. I might be able to play it. Um, they wanted a guy already scored the film, but there was one scene that needed to be scored. So I did a piece for it. They wanted it similar to I don't know if you guys are familiar with the show The Leftovers. Um, there was a piece that he wanted it to sound similar to, so I basically listened to that piece and kind of made it my own and made a melody, and he really liked it. So I guess I'm doing something right. So okay, so you want to hear the melody again? See, I switched up the chords to C, where we're in A minor, so I could probably do the melody, the same melody over this chord progression. It will sound different, but it will still be the same. That was what I was going to do, but we got sidetracked here. Um, no worries, it's cool with you guys. I love this conversation, man. This is great, but it's just helping not get work done. So common structures. Okay, reharmonizing it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing. So common structure, like verse, chorus. Yeah. I guess for common structure would be like A B or A B A. But for film music, it's kind of different because you're. I guess you could say themes because you're developing themes, which I guess that's a bad word today too. Directors don't. I don't want themes because back in the day, like when the superhero or the villain came, it was like they would do the cheesy, you know, you know, the cheesy theme, and you'd hear it every time the villain would come online. But we still do it. Yeah. So it also depends on the movie that the scene. Yeah, totally. Because one thing, a weakness that I'm finding myself with scoring is I want to put music everywhere, and that's just be a beginner. Um, you want to put music where it needs to be put. On the drama or what's going on in the scene. So that's something I'm learning too, is you don't have to have music, freaking, 8 minutes of music in the whole piece. Learn to know when to put the music in there for full effect. So, you know, we all have to learn. We all have to start somewhere. All right, so let's pull the melody out here. See, I'm just not a very good piano player either, so that holds me down. Yeah, maybe something is seen as repetitive, and you kind of want to adapt to that. Yeah, exactly. Or and plus, you don't want to get in the way of the film. Also, um, you don't want your music to be what they're focusing on. You just want it to be kind of background thing. So that in itself is very difficult. I'm finding doing because I come from uh, one of my philosophies is for writing music is melody. Melody will trump everything. If you have a catchy melody and a memorable melody, people are gonna remember that melody over anything you do. I mean, yeah, you can have cool parts and cool drum parts and cool sound effects, but I guarantee if you write a strong melody, they'll be humming it, and that's what you want. So I always focus on melody. Melody is my thing. I want to write good. That's why I like Vivaldi because he writes very, for me, memorable melodies. Like I don't know, like especially like the Four Seasons. Um, very memorable melodies and a huge inspiration for me. And that's I've always, even with my guitar playing, just focus on because melody's everything. Enough yapping and let's get composing. All right, so let's take this here. See, this melody wasn't really working on these strings, but we're going to do it anyway. I'm going to have to play with them a little bit. And also all this stuff, learning to writing for sample libraries, man, and how to do this stuff. I mean, it's all new to me and so much crap you have to learn. I'm from the old. I play guitar. It's like just give me the guitar and I'll write it and it will work. You know. So I'm thinking about like, is there a way to hook up a MIDI thing to your guitar and input through the guitar like you do with a keyboard? I've been thinking about that. That might work for me, but I want to learn piano. There we go. That sounded good, actually. I might have to stop streaming here. My daughter sounds like she's getting a little. Plus, I need to eat lunch. Oh wow, it's almost 3. I haven't even ate yet. It's 3. It's almost 3 o'clock here. I'm Eastern time. I'm in the United States. I don't know where you guys are at. Okay, yeah, I'm probably gonna stop streaming here in a little bit. I wanted to really finish this piece today. South Africa, wow, cool, man. That's pretty far away. So what's the time is it there? How many? Yeah, I'll pull up the world clock, my iPhone. What time zone is that? It's probably nighttime there, right? Yeah, 9. Wow. So when are you gonna stream next, man? Cornelius. Do you upload? Yeah, you do upload them to YouTube. Yeah, I'm starting to do that too. You actually wanted to finish this, really? Yeah, because I've been, like I said, I started this piece in September. It's the end of October, and the last like 3 streams, I've done this song, and I'm sure everybody's sick of it. But this is the real process of what composers go through, and I think people that aren't composers don't understand how long it takes to do a 4-minute piece or a 3-minute piece. It takes a lot of time, and like I said, I'm just slow, and that's something I'm working on too. But today, you said today. Okay, cool. But I mean, today, you said today. I know I did. I might come back later though, maybe tonight. Finish up stuff. I still got to work on that short film. I promised the director I would have a rough sketch to him by the end of the weekend. So that's what's been taking up some of my time too. Um, as I'm really into it and I really want to do well. And the only bad thing about the project was I didn't get a temp track, so I don't know what. He just told me he liked certain types of shows like X Files and stuff like that. So I had to do some research and watch a few X Files shows and kind of get the essence of what those scores are. And so I'm just kind of shooting in the dark here. So I'm trying to get it finished. Hang on, hang on. So I'm just trying to get it finished so I can. Oh, no temp track is a dream come true. Yeah, I know. But it's also a curse in itself because you don't know if you're hitting the director's expectations with the music because what you might think it needs, they might be in a completely different ball game here. You know what I mean? So yes, it's beautiful because I can do whatever I want, but I'm hoping I'm hitting what he's gonna like. So but yeah, temp track is a dream come true. It is. Well, this is what happens when you're not getting paid to do a short film. And see ya, man. Thanks for joining. Thanks for following TDE. I really appreciate it, man. I will stream more, and like I said, go over to the YouTube. That's where I'm uploading them. You can see some of the past ones and some other videos. But thanks for watching. I'll see you later, man. You're envious. Yeah, I'm just getting started in this film scoring thing. So this is the second project I'm doing. So I'm so new to this, but I love it because I'm growing as a musician and as a composer. It's making me think and do things I've never thought I could do, and I love it. So it's really helping me grow and expand my music palette, and you know, I'm just like at the end of the day, I'm just a guitar player that wants to be a composer. You know, that's how I look at it. But you look at where you started and where you are today and how you've grown, and I've totally grown and gotten better. But we all want to get better and go farther. So, but yeah, I'm just grateful that the guy gave me an opportunity to score his film. So, um, um, even if I'm getting paid or not, it's something I want to do. Money is not why I'm doing it. But I think I might sign off here. I've been streaming for 2 hours. I need to eat. I'll try to stream tonight, but I doubt it. But I really appreciate everyone stopping by and talking. Um, so yeah, I think we're gonna call it a day here and um, come back to this piece again. Ugh, I don't want to do another stream, but I love the talk we had, and I think it was very valuable. Well, thanks Cornelius for stopping by, man. And like I said, I really appreciate your stream and what you do on YouTube and stuff. I'm a subscriber and a follower, so keep it up, man. Yeah, thanks. Take care. All right. So as you guys seen with the stream today, people stopped in and asked some great questions. We had a great conversation. We really didn't get too far with the piece, but if you're watching on YouTube, be feel free to drop your questions or anything or stuff like that. Like I said, if you're watching the first time, here's all my social links. You can follow me. Like I said, thanks everybody for stopping by on the stream. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thanks. Please like and subscribe. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks and take care.